Hi, I'm Prashant, and this is how I learned to create games. I'm from Mumbai, originally born and brought up there. Spent most of my life there. This is the first time I've stepped out of my city as well for like any job or anything. But yeah, my entire education happened in Mumbai itself, and I think I was in fourth or fifth when I got my first PC, and I started with games like IGI or Counter Strike or Doom or Quake and games like that. So the first GTA game that I ever played was Vice City, and I've always like wondered why can't you swim in a game? Like it shouldn't be that difficult, right? Like you can put cheat codes in it and make your car swim, but not you yourself. Like you step into the water, you die. That's not how real life works. But apart from that, most of that game was pretty memorable and pretty nostalgic to me. But just that one thing irked me that I can't really like. I don't know why. Why can't I swim? Why what's the problem here, right? But then when San Andreas came out, when I started playing San Andreas, that's when I finally found out. Oh wait, I can do this. I can finally swim. So this is the thing. This is not something that you can't do, but I don't know. Like I was always intrigued by the limitation that the Rockstar company faced for not bringing the swimming mechanic into Vice City, and that's how like my interest in knowing how things get done in games started from, and. Yeah, pretty much like the same thing for when I played Liberty City because Liberty City doesn't really have bikes or any two wheelers for that matter. And then Vice City came out. Vice City had bikes, but again, no bicycles or no swimming. Then San Andreas came out and it had pretty much everything. So like I always wondered what kind of limitations these companies faced and what kind of measures did they take to get over these technicalities in their future games or in their next releases. So that's kind of what irked me and like gave me that itch to find out problems that these guys try to tackle. So I am a computer engineer. I did my engineering in Veset Chembur in Mumbai, and it was nothing too shiny about how my engineering went and what kind of job I got. It was just a regular fintech company that I joined in, and it was kind of boring to be very honest because the kind of job that I was doing was the things that we use were called middlewares. So there was just things to like route data from here to there, or like basically I was doing like a support job with the kind of degree that I have, which I didn't really. I don't know. I never really thought about it for like the first year, but then like slowly and steadily it started hitting me. I am really not sure. Like I saw my friends and my other colleagues like move to different companies, and like when I asked them, like what kind of role did you go for? They used to tell me things which I never really thought about. Wait, I don't know what kind of specialization do I have here, and like because first of all I was never really interested in the kind of job I was doing, and secondly it was I like there was no like when you know you're not interested in something, you're just doing it for the sake of it. So there was no participation or motivation for me to do it as well, like wholeheartedly, right? So then struck lockdown. So during lockdown I think that was uh, like the time of clarity for me, because during lockdown I remember one of my friends who's also a part of Outscale, and I think he works at Outscale as well now, Manas. So he's from my college itself, college only. Like he passed out with me. So he told me about Outscale and like how he was trying to do this learning. He's been in game development way before that as well. Like right out of college, even his B project was a game that he made. But I never really thought about it. So he told me about it. Like I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe since I've been playing games all my life, I've been like always questioning about why in games this is possible, this is not possible. I try to go into intricate details about games. Why not like give this a shot, right? Like it was just a year-long course. Why not take it? Like what's the harm, right? So I decided to go for it, and I was absolutely amazed at what I could do. And it was just a whole new world for me to explore, which kind of I think propelled me into game development more and more as I started making my own projects, started interviewing for companies, got rejected 20 times, got approved, I guess, 5 times over that course. And they were not ready to pay me my current salary because I obviously didn't have any professional game development experience. But other than that, yeah, I guess it was just a drive to do something that I like and something that I'd be interested in myself was the driving factor for me. I think this is a very subjective question, so I'm just gonna place my side, like how my friends and family dealt with it. Since the course that I wanted to join was kind of like monetary investment, which of course I thought I will take it upon myself only because I didn't want to trouble my family or just for the things that I want to do. So I still want like I every little detail I talk to my mom about it. And throughout my life I think she's been the most supportive person I have ever had. And it doesn't matter what I want to do, she would always support me. So there was really no talking there. I just told her that I want to do this, and she's like, yeah, sure, do whatever you want. So that was from my family side. Other than that, my friends, like my roommate who lives with me now, is my school time friend. So he seemed pretty kind of like most of my friends who know me, like who know me well, were kind of excited for me because they know the kind of passion I have for games, and the drive that I have when it comes to games and everything. They were like pretty happy and pretty stoked about it as well for me. So all in all, a pretty supportive group of people I had backing me up. Plus, and I feel this it's like a very social stigma that it's like a very unconventional technical field. I really believe it's not, because at this day and age, you won't find a single person that does not have a game on their phone. Even my mom plays Candy Crush and Ludo. Like there's absolutely no reason for someone to tell you, hey, maybe you're not doing, like maybe this game development thing isn't really right. Because game development is not just some field; it's literally one of the biggest fields in the current world. Oh well, okay. So as I said, like I have a really good friend, Manas, who's already a part of Outscale way before I started, and he also, like, he's my college friend, and he also kind of knows me pretty well. So he also knows like I'm into gaming as much as he is. So, and like there was this time and phase in lockdown where I was just having second thoughts about everything I was doing with my job. That like if I were to see like 2 years in the future, what would I be telling if I wanted to switch a job now? What would I tell them? Like what have I done in this company other than like just sell their product? That's not what I wanted to do. Like that's what I never wanted to do. So like I was like fine. I spoke to him, like he was in games since a very long time. So I was just like, hey, like, what are you doing? Where do I start? Where do I begin? Like, I want to try this. I want to get into games. How do I start? He's like, so he did give me like a few pointers on how to start on my own. But then he also suggested me Outscale and like the kind of courses and the kind of treatment you guys give to students who want to get into game development. And that kind of like sounded tempting to me. I remember giving like an entrance test to get into Outscale as well. So yeah, so it went pretty well because I remember Manas was already halfway through by the time I joined, and feedback that I have been getting from him was fairly positive. Like even though he's been in game development for a long amount of time before that, he still got to learn things and just reconnect to a whole bunch of passionate people who were like as passionate about games as he was, which was like a major appealing factor for me. I remember like in Outscale when we started, we were just having like the weekly lectures, and based off the lectures, we used to have assignments, and then we like it was just C plus plus C sharp in the beginning, like a basic course, and then we started on to 2D project, 3D project, and so on and so forth. So I feel since I was relatively new to game development in that case and new to Unity in general, because I knew C++ and C Sharp before that, but Unity and working with Unity was like very new to me. Like I had no idea on how like Unity worked, or what was even the basics like it. So I think stepping into that took me a while to like wrap my head around where like what's a game object, what's a scriptable object, what is the difference, why do I use this, when do I use that one. And then animation clips used to scare me a lot, where like what is a keyframe, like what are these dots. It's just very basic things that could like, because I think every game engine is kind of like that when you're trying to learn, because there's just so many these minute things that you need to know beforehand to understand it, which like now that I think about it, are absolutely nothing. Like it's not a big deal. But I think uh, starting with the game engine as a tool, like learning about it in the beginning was a big challenge for me when I started out. There were like a few concepts like I know coroutines and asynchronous. I've always hated like multi-threading, but that's part of optimization as well, because we need to take care of that as well. Other than that, assignments were fine. The best part about Outscale that I feel is the way it just clumped a bunch of like aspiring and passionate people together to sit in a room where I could meet people like Manas Mallar. I mean, I knew Manas already, but Mallar, my Milan, who works in my company, who's a very dear and close friend to me at this point. So like getting to know all of these people, getting that the sense of camaraderie that you have with people with the same mindset. I think that's pretty valuable to me, that Outscale has given to me. So while I was doing the Outscale things, I was doing like trying to make like small games of my own as well. And but the first thing that actually like made me feel like, oh shit, I'm actually making a game, was the tank game that we made. I don't know, something about that game with like since I mean we were given all the materials and the terrain and everything, but still when I actually saw the tank and the enemies move on their own, and the tank that I'm controlling go near the enemies and the enemies start following you, that's the kind of thing that I've seen like in actual games that I was able to replicate. Plus like a very I don't know, very trivial thing, but I feel very proud about it, was back when I started. I think this is around 2020 or 19, or I don't know. I always wanted to recreate Flappy Bird. So that was like a side project that I was working on while I was working for Outscale. Because as you know, it was lockdown. Not everyone was like working from home. So that's what I used to do in my free time, and I managed to recreate that as well with I mean, of course, it was like a very beginning journey for me in game development. It was the source code was horrible. Like I throw up when I look at it now. But again, I was pretty proud of myself when I like one for the tank thing and one for the Flappy Bird that I created. I remember, like, since I already had like not game development experience, but working in a tech company experience. I think it was Mayank, because I really didn't feel ready for interviews yet. Like I think it was 3-4 months into the course. Mayank actually pushed me for like Manas got hired in some company. I forgot the name. So I think they were hiring more. They wanted more people. So Mayank pushed my name to that company, and I ended up giving the interview anyhow. It went horrible. I mean, I was just sitting there because there were obviously things that I didn't know, and plus it was like my first game development interview, so I was kind of nervous. But when I spoke to Mayank about it, he didn't really say that. Yeah, it's okay. Better luck next time. He's like, yeah, that's a learning experience that you need to face. You need to learn to face rejections before you actually learn things. So now that I know what things I don't know, I just keep on polishing them. And further, like as I go on, keep on giving interviews, keep getting rejected, there will come one point where I'll be able to answer these questions. I'll be able to like recollect, hey, wait, I didn't answer it that time. I know this now. That actually happened with me. Plus, I actually got reached out through LinkedIn through Outscale from the current company that I'm working in, and it was I never really had any problems with placements because once like the LinkedIn thing that Outscale had us doing to upload like our game project progress every once in a while, that kind of like had us in the eyes of a lot of game development companies, and they constantly try to reach out to us to get us to interview them, which I feel was a really good idea, and that kind of helped me a lot landing a job in game development. Company that I'm working in currently is a London-based company called AirSolve. We mainly create like VR simulations for hospitals, which like we simulate scenarios like cardiac arrest or hypertensive shock or I don't know, like a blunt force trauma incident to a certain age group of people, and how like how the doctor is supposed to respond to that, how the first responders are supposed to treat them. Those kind of scenarios we try to simulate. So the current, I mean, I can't really disclose that much, obviously. So I'll give you a brief. So we're trying to create a simulation where basically everything is smart. So you just create certain smart components inside, like for a patient's body, and that smart component will pretty much have know what to do with whatever is when you try to interact with it with whatever you do. Like, I mean, again, I can't really disclose much, but yeah, it's kind of a very big deal because making things smart is a very huge task when it comes to game development, and this I think is kind of a very 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 interesting possibility to like a lot. It's going to open a lot of new paradigms for us. No matter how many times you fail, as long as you keep trying, it's really the goal that you would want is not really that far away as long as you don't stop trying.